What's up, guys? It's Ricardo, junkguysdfw.net. I'm in the headquarters in Fort Worth, Texas today, guys. It is a snowstorm, it is a blizzard, call it what you want. It's the end of the world here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today, I want to talk to you about a subject that has kind of changed my business a few years ago. Let me turn this off really fast, guys. I want to just get into it. Just kind of lower it. God, does it get lowered at all? Anyway, guys, dumpster rentals, not as profitable as you'd think. But before we get into it, I want to talk to you about really quick. On February the 10th, it is the Facebook free webinar that I will be having, an exclusive webinar, a private group. Anybody who wants to be in it can be in it, but you will be getting an invitation to get into the private group. I'm going to be talking about new entrepreneurship, ideas for SEO, and also people that want to get into this business, how to get into the business, and how to run your business. But let's get off into this really fast, guys. First, I want to say hi to the people in the house. John Hartway, what's up? Junk Zombies. Junk Zombies always here. It's like Junk Zombies waits for me. Eddie Ochoa, saludos, amigos. Right back at you guys. So I want to get into this really quick now. Let's just start talking about it. Let me turn off my music, get it out of the way, get off these notifications. I think I'm ready to go, man. I am ready to go, guys. I didn't work today. So nobody in the Dallas-Fort Worth area worked today. If somebody worked in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I will give them the props because I'm going to tell you what happened. There is a storm. There is an ice storm. It is absolutely horrible. There are no cars in the street. I put on my ski clothes this morning and I actually went for a walk. I don't have ski clothes, but I got it from junk removal, so it's pretty cool stuff. Anyway, let's get into it. First, I want to show you a picture. I want to try to say hi to as many people come in there. It's your birthday. Sylvania Martinez, happy birthday on the 10th. Belated, well, it's like a pre-birthday, I guess. It's going to be a pre-birthday on the 10th of February. Let's get into this. I want to show you first a quick picture. I've been taking notes of everything that I do. I want to show you a quick picture really quick of something that I have. There it is, guys, right there. Check that out. Isn't that a sweet setup? This is my setup right here. Let's go through what this is. Those two are Texas Pride dumpsters. Both of them were bought in Madisonville, Texas by Texas Pride. That's the name of the company. So if you're looking for dumpsters, dumpster trailers, that's where I got them from. Junk Zombies, you're the godfather of junk, not someone saying fake stuff. I know what you're talking about, and I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Hello, Ruston AFNF. Hello from Oakland, California. What's up, dude? All right, guys, so let's get into this. First, let me describe what we're looking at in this picture over here to my left really quick, and then we'll just talk about what's going on. That right there is a 2002 7.3 F350 truck. That truck was a very powerful truck, that mine. Pulling power on that was about 14,000 pounds. That right there is a dumpster trailer, okay? It is a Texas Pride dumpster gooseneck trailer. And right here is a 5.7 F250. It has a bumper pull connected to it. So this is a gooseneck and this is a bumper pull Texas Pride dumpster roll-off. All right, so let's get into it. So it was about May 2011, I had purchased a bumper pull. It was a 12-yard dumpster roll-off with 5 cans. That means 5 of these dumpsters roll off of it. And it cost me approximately $25,000. That's how much it was. I went down there with actually $25,000. He didn't charge me tax for it. I remember the guy. They hadn't sold a lot of these this equipment in the past. So when I got there in 2011, I was probably like maybe 5th or 6th in the nation that probably owned one of these things. I had just started manufacturing. In about November 2012, almost a year later, I purchased a gooseneck trailer, and that's that one right there. So this is the bumper pull, and that one is the gooseneck right there. Let me blow up this picture so you could kind of take a look at it. You know what? Forget it. Just forget it. You can see it right there. It's just right there. November 12th, I purchased a gooseneck 15-yard dumpster with only 1 can. So when I purchased the gooseneck, it only had 1 can. It was a 15-yard dumpster. It cost me approximately $15,000 cash. Both the bumper pull and the gooseneck were both used to drop off dumpsters and junk removal. But as time went on and the year went by, 5 years went by, I started using only the gooseneck for dumpster rentals. I used to rent the 15-yard one dumpster that I had for $400 and the 12-yard dumpsters for $300. And I would put them all around town. I was pretty busy. I was doing about 2 to 3 a day and then doing junk removal on the side. So it's kind of hecked up running both. I had a crew of 2 guys full-time doing the junk removal, and I was dropping off most of these dumpsters. So, and one of the other guys was actually pulling this truck, the bumper pull, this 5.7 Ford and this bumper pull. So I want to make that clear to y'all really quick, guys, okay? For the next 5 years, both the trailers were used very efficient. They were very efficient vehicles. I was renting out dumpsters. I was completing full junk removals. It was honestly an accomplishment for me that I had fulfilled kind of to own a dumpster removal, dumpster business, roll-off business. One thing I did notice as the years were going by, what the margins weren't what people had said they were. Okay, the margins weren't bad. I've always been a big numbers guy, and when it came to margins, these dumpsters didn't leave a lot. Okay, and there was a lot of situations and problems that happen with this. Okay, I want to tell you, dumpster rentals are not as profitable as you think they are. I always had dumpsters that needed to be dropped off, and that took a lot of time. I always needed dumpsters to be picked up, and that took a lot of time. As a matter of fact, dumpster rentals at the time had a set price because so many companies out there were doing them. The big companies where the city was doing the same size dumpsters I was. I wasn't really competition to them because I was really grabbing up their scraps. But everybody was doing them. Dumpsters, trailers always had hydraulic problems, electrical, hydraulic problems, pump problems. Oh my gosh, I can just remember always winch problems, snapping. They had mechanical problems. Customers weren't always honest. I'll be honest with you, I would tell them not to put construction material, no brick, concrete, rock, cement, or anything. And you know what? Every once in a while, I'd find a brick or a concrete or some piece of roofing shingle inside my dumpster. So customers weren't always very honest, and the weight would be a lot on these vehicles. But one of the things that really bothered me was the part to save and recycle and sort the junk out. See, I would go to point A to pick up one of the dumpsters and then have to take it straight to the landfill and then take it to another house and drop it off and then go back all the way to the headquarters, grab another dumpster that's empty, go drop that off across town to another, and hours would go by. Hours would go by. I never had the chance to sort through the trash to do recycling and also to sell stuff with it or maybe donate it. That was a big problem for me. I remember that in the past. I was always damaging my roll-off dumpsters. Either I was damaging them when I was dropping them off or hitting them with something or accidentally hitting one of my other vehicles, or my customers were just grabbing things and throwing them inside the dumpster, and that right there was a huge deal to me. These dumpsters, by the way, this gooseneck and this bumper pull were not the easiest things to park. I will tell you, I am a good parker. Okay, I park all my vehicles very fast. I throw them in the back and I take off. I can do really tight spaces. But these Texas Pride trailers were very difficult to park at times, especially when you were going down alleys or driveways or cobblestone driveways that the customers were always saying, oh, is it going to hurt my driveway? Is the cement going to crack? Is the weight too much for my driveway? That was a big concern to most of my customers. And another thing, the weight. The weight of these trailers were astonishing. So the gooseneck trailer weighs 3,500 pounds by itself. That's just a trailer. Once you put 1,500 pound dumpster on the back of it, you're at automatically, get this, 35 plus 15, that's 5,000 pounds. If you buy any accessories such as the pullover that covers it, Any of the extras, you can weigh up to an additional 500 pounds. So let's say 5,500 pounds, and then you put a ton in it, and you had 7,500 pounds of weight pulling on these trucks. Now these trucks, both of these trucks are very capable of doing it, but see, I'm not like a normal junk removal or dumpster rental company. These trucks, both of them were moving about 4 to 5 times a day. Either they were dropping off dumpsters, and then after the dumpster rentals, they were going to do junk removal. So we were moving them very, very constantly. Now, both of these trucks are capable of doing, but they were doing it so much where fuel was a big deal to me, okay? So you guys, like I said, these vehicles are very, very heavy and very tough on these trucks. So after 6 months, I realized something. I'm going to do a study of my finances when it compares to junk removal and dumpster rental. Which one was a better business for me personally to get into? I did a financial profit and loss. I did a balance sheet. I remember especially figuring out my income to expense ratio. That was very important. So what's income and what's expense ratio? Income is whatever you bring in, whatever the dumpster, whatever the customer pays you. So I was dropping off a dumpster, they were paying me $300, but what was my expense? Okay, and that, when you get that expense out of it's $100, you make $200, that is called your net income, AKA your revenue for the day. Okay, I was comparing my junk removal versus dumpster rentals. I always knew in my heart that I was making more money in junk removal. Here's how I knew that. First of all, I knew revenue was up. Revenue was up about 30 to 40% higher in junk removal. Fuel was a lot better. That counts with the revenue, by the way. Fuel, I wasn't spending that much fuel because I was pulling an enclosed trailer, a 16-foot enclosed aluminum trailer that only weighed, get this, 1,500 pounds with weight on it, additional, and we're going to just say, for sake of this video, 1 ton, 2,000 pounds, so we have 1,500 plus 2,000 pounds. I was driving around with 3,500 pounds anywhere I went, just about. Imagine, you have this truck right here with 3,500 pounds, or you attach it with 7,500 pounds with that gooseneck trailer. Which one is going to do better in fuel? Which one's going to travel faster? And which one of these vehicles is going to be more efficient for your business? I looked at those small things, and that's when I decided efficiency is time and money for me. Now listen guys, I know I understand that I'm making my opinions about this, and I posted another video prior where people went crazy about drivetrains and trying to listen. This is my vehicles. These were my vehicles. These are not your vehicles, so I want to state that this is my opinion only, but this was a study that I did, okay? As time went by, I realized that my revenue was up 30 to even 40% in junk removal, higher than it was in dumpster rental. And I'll tell you why, what was the biggest deal. See guys, in this dumpster, let's just say I have to drop this off to a house in Southlake, Texas. When I drop off that dumpster, I have to pick it up and go deliver it to another spot. But I have to empty it first. So I have to go from my headquarters, take it all the way to the landfill, empty it, then take it to Southlake, grab the $300 after I drop it off, and then take it back to the landfill, dump it again, and go back and drop it off at another location. Here was the problem with that, okay? And I want to try to explain this as easy as I can. There was a time efficiency when I was dropping it off, and all I could max out the customer was $300, because that was the price of the dumpsters surrounding all the surrounding cities. Waste Management had them at $300. Marco Junk Removal had them at $300. Adams Dumpsters had them at $300. So we all had the same dumpster at $300. So I was at the same price. There was not really budging from that price. Now, let's take the same equation, but with an enclosed trailer. An enclosed trailer, my enclosed trailer, fully loaded is $400. Not only will I go from the spot to the landfill to empty it, but I will go to Southlake and fill it up for $200, let's just say. I will not have that trailer only halfway full, and I can go to another stop and do that job, not having to go to the landfill to empty it for another customer. Does that make any sense to y'all? I'm hoping that y'all understand what I'm trying to tell you. That I made $400 off the same enclosed trailer when I was only making $300 off of it. So if I was making 20% just on fuel and efficiency, another 20% came from extra revenue from the enclosed trailer, adding more jobs to the enclosed trailer. I hope that makes sense for a lot of people out there, guys. Now, I ended up selling the bumper pull. I ended up selling the 4 dumpsters, okay? I sold the bumper pull for about $7,000, and each of the trailer dumpsters I got sold for like $1,500. I was really honestly just trying to get them off the property, and right now at this point in 2022, I own 1, which is the gooseneck, and I own 1 trailer, and that trailer, that dumpster that I have attached on the back, is only used for recycling. We throw all the recycling in there and then we go and recycle it. So that's all we use it for. I want to make, this is pretty full. I was concentrating on junk removal. Why? It was way more efficient for me and was very profitable long term. Okay? It was profitable long term. Okay? What were the advantages? What were the advantages of keeping my enclosed trailers instead of these dumpsters? Okay? Here we go. Fuel, margins, shorter trips, efficiency, faster drives, efficiency, damaging me or the customer, my equipment. And then the top thing is revenue. See guys, I like paying my bills on time. I also like making more money. Okay? Those were the biggest advantages of leaving the dumpster business to the junk removal business. All right. So anyway, when I was doing this video, I decided to do a little research. I went through my files and I started looking for stuff. And I remember a long time ago, I got to the point, I think it was like 2015 or 16 when I decided to sell the dumpster. And I did make a diagram a long time ago, years ago. I found the diagrams, so I duplicated the diagrams and I wrote them up just for y'all, and I'm gonna put them on the screen. And I want to explain something to you. When you see these diagrams, please have in mind that these were done a long time ago, but this is my thinking. When I designed and made these diagrams, I was thinking, how can I save? Why were the dumpsters taking me so much longer and not making as much money as my junk removal? So I'm going to pull up a diagram really fast right now. This is my junk removal diagram, and it's pretty basic diagram. But this is a diagram that I designed years and years ago, and I'm going to move out of the way. Now, this indicates my headquarters right here. This is the headquarters where I'm at in Dallas, Texas. Now, so let's pretend I have 1 enclosed trailer, just 1, and I'm going to do 3 jobs, and these are the jobs right here. That's house 1, house 2, and house 3. So I'm trying to explain everything, and of course that is the landfill. We start off in the house at the headquarters, and I leave to the landfill. So far, I've spent 10 miles just to get here. Now, I did 10 miles as a small number so everybody can follow with me, okay? Every house is 10 miles away from the landfill. Also, if you could tell, every house is 10 miles from the way. So here's what I do. So let's take, for instance, 1 job, the job in Dallas. All these houses are in Dallas. By the way, they're all 10 miles apart. The first 10 miles will go to the landfill, and then the second from the landfill to the house is 10 miles. That is 20 miles. But then I have a full trailer and I made $400. I take that trailer, that's a dumpster on there. What's supposed to be a trailer? That trailer, the enclosed trailer, I take that back to the landfill. That's another 10 miles, and then I go back. So far I've only spent 40 miles. I take that, I empty it out, and I go to the third house right here. Well, so one, two, yeah. I go to the second house. I come back, I finish the job here. That right there is 40 miles. Then I empty, go back to the landfill, and bring it back an additional 20 miles. 60 miles in total so far. So far, I've traveled to house number 1, did a job, house number 2, did a job, house number 3, and did a job, and I'm done for the day. I'm going to go home. So at 60 miles, I'm going to travel past the middle of the landfill. Now, my landfill is actually 10 miles away, so that's why I even use that figure. And just to let you know, the landfill is in the middle of the city, okay? For me, because I only dump at the transfer station. I'm not going all on the other side of the city. So here we go. I traveled from here, 10 miles, past the landfill, to my headquarters, which is an additional 10 miles. So totaling my trip to an astonishing 80 miles, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, back home, okay? This is what I did. This is my equation that I did. I honestly called this little masterpiece back here, back in the day when I designed this. I called it mileage to the landfill, and it was ridiculous because I didn't really have any perspective of what I was going to do at the time, but mileage to the landfill, this is what it was, my diagram. Now this was for my junk removal enclosed trailer. I want you to try to understand how I did this diagram, okay? There it is. I made 400 here, 400 here, 400 here, which is an equation of $1,200 because every time I went back to the landfill, so I did want to make that clear. Only 80 miles traveling to the landfill. Now that is my junk removal diagram, guys. Now I bet you're thinking, Ricardo, did you make a diagram for dumpster? Well, of course, I had to weigh the differences between them and which one was going to gain me more revenue. Now this next diagram is going to get you a little bit more complicated, but there it is, guys. Okay, now here's the big deal with this diagram. Now see if you can keep up with me on this one, guys. This is the dumpster diagram, okay? There are 3 houses just like the last one, 1, 2, and 3. Here's the problem with it. I would go to the headquarters and pick up the first dumpster and go empty it out. That was 10 miles. Then I'd go deliver it to the first house. That was 10 miles. That is 20 miles. But I had to go to the headquarters to get another dumpster. Now here's the killer part about it, is that I only made $300 because that's the going rate for dumpsters. Okay? I had to deliver another dumpster because that customer wanted one and that customer wanted one. So right here, I'm at 20 miles. Then I have to go back again and again back to the headquarters to right here for an additional 20 miles. Then I have to leave again. But you know what? We're going to give the difference that this dumpster that's at the landfill is just, at the site is just empty. Okay, let's just say it's empty for sake of this video. So far we're at 40 miles. Then we go from here, past the landfill, 10, to the next house, another 10, 20 miles. Then we go from again, to go pick up another dumpster, because you see that green dumpster? That's the dumpster I dropped off. That was that dumpster right there. So it's right there. I have to go take that dumpster, leave it here, and go get another dumpster, pick it up there, another 20 miles, and take it another 20 miles to right here. And believe it or not, at this point, we're at 100 miles. We're at 100 miles. See, guys, math is really easy. See, math is where you get those miles and you just add them up. We've made an astonishing 5 trips. 5 trips only to 3 houses. And I'll prove it to you. You left here, 1 trip. 2 trips, back, 3 trips, 4 trips, back, 5 trips, 6 trips, back. You see what I'm saying? So now we had to come back over here to the house, and at this point we are at 100 miles that we've spent, and guess what? We've only made 3, 6, 9. That's $300, $600, $900. At the end of the day, you always have to take the truck home, just like we did with the enclosed trailer with the other diagram. I decided that we would have to take this home and add it up. Well, guys, at 100 miles so far, you take it across the landfill, which was 10, and then go back to the headquarters. We never stopped at the landfill. We're just driving by the landfill. And that is another 20 miles for an astonishing 120 miles. I actually wrote it down that way it would not be wrong. The first trip over all the trips, I'm getting my notes out really fast, guys, is 10 miles. The second trip was an additional 10 miles, then 20 miles, an additional 20 miles, another 20, another 20, and to get home was 20, which comes out to 120. Guys, it was 40 miles less with this, with the other diagram. I'm going to break this diagram down really fast so I can show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. Let me get this. There we go. Kind of want to show you. So this, and then I will show you the, and break that one down just a little smaller. Bring it right over here. Kind of give you an idea of what I'm looking at, what we're looking at. This was a total of 80 miles for 3 houses, $1,200, $400 here, $400 here, $400 here. This over here is equivalent of $900, 3 houses, but we're traveling more. So I honestly traveled more, 120 miles here, and only traveled 80 miles here, an equivalent of 40 miles. At 60 miles per hour, you can do 40 miles in 40 minutes. I want to tell you, you know what I can be doing in 40 minutes? That is a lot of work. In 40 minutes, you can do a lot of work. Tell me, how many people have gone to a home and actually done a junk removal and it only took you 15 minutes and you had $300 in your pocket? How many people have gone to a house and did a job for 30 minutes and made $400? See guys, the problem is 40 minutes and an additional $300, because right here, don't forget, with a total of 80 miles, I made $1,200. I filled up my trailer each time. Over here, I filled up my dumpster each time, but I only made $900. Does that make sense to anybody? I made an additional $300 and saved 40 miles on this one. Made more money, saved fuel, and efficiency. And that's why I stopped doing dumpster rentals. The numbers weren't there. Now, people are going to tell you all the time. They're going to say, oh, dumpsters are better, and that's fine. I want to make that clear. I want to make that clear to you. There are people that are going to, I made notes of this too. I made notes of this, and I want to be sure that we talk about it right. There are people that are going to justify what, and make excuses for this. If you ever, okay, so if you've been concerned in the past that you couldn't succeed with something like this, put those fears to rest, okay? Because you can do this. I needed the right person to tell me that dumpster rentals was not working out for me. Okay, that's what it took. I'm trying to put my notes up here really quick. See, guys, what's going on is that people out there, they want you to think that there's a lot of money in dumpster rental. And they want you to be successful. That's what they tell you. I'm here to tell you that they're wrong. They have their own reasons for wanting us to think but it's just not true. Junk removal is a way more profitable business than dumpster rental. Listen, guys, I don't know how I can explain this. You've seen it. If you agree with me, that's great. Listen, if you own a dumpster company and you're seeing this and you're realizing what's going on, listen, these are just numbers. That's all it is. These are numbers. These are facts. Okay? We did 2 equations, one using a junk removal enclosed trailer, and one using a dumpster. That's all it is. If you want to believe the numbers, believe it. $300 more, 40 miles less. More margins, more revenue, more efficiency. And that's it. Now, if you want to take other things in consideration like wind and weather and flat tires and the landfills, that's up to you. That's totally up to you. I am stating facts is what I'm stating, and I want y'all to realize that. Listen, guys, I'm out here trying for people to realize that the dumpster business is just not as profitable as the junk removal business. And I don't know why people always say that. And you know what, Matt? That's great. You own a dumpster company. That is great. And I don't have a problem with that. I owned a dumpster company. I still have dumpsters. Long Beach, I see what you're saying. You stop renting trailers, not worth the risk. And I had mentioned that also, okay? Matt, who also owns a dumpster company, just said that junk removal is more profitable. It's the smallest amounts of dollars that make the difference, but it's still the difference, okay? Now, I'm guessing for a lot of y'all that this is something that I've seen for the first time ever. The first thing that I want to mention, that if you failed at any of these twos, dumpster rentals or junk removal, in the past, it's actually not your fault. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and it can be confusing. Many times, most of that information is overloaded and keeps you from success. But it's okay, because I'm here, guys. I'm here to teach y'all. Look at the differences between them. Matt says, I don't understand why junk removal guys want to get into dumpsters. Matt, oh my gosh, this is great. Matt, I want you to chime in a little bit more, please. I want you to chime in more. Matt, keep on talking. I like this. I always think that too. Someone always tells me, hey dude, I'm going to start buying dumpsters. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, well, I'm doing so good in junk removal, I think I can start dropping dumpsters. And I'm going, you know, that's just not a great idea. And I try to tell my people, the people that I work with, the competitors that are my friends that we work together, I tell them all the time, do not make that mistake, okay? I made that mistake in the past, and they're like, well, how do you know, Ricardo? Well, that's how I know. That's how I know right there. Ocal Dumpsters, you're killing it with dumpster rentals. That is awesome. Hey, listen, bro, that is awesome. Now, I want to ask you a question, okay? Callie, on call. I'm sorry, man. I apologize, brother. I'm going to take down these diagrams really fast. How many dumpsters do you do a week? So just throw a number. You don't have to say 15 and 20. Just say 20, and I'll work with that 20, okay? So I'm asking on-call dumpsters. He just said it down right there. He said that he kills it with dumpsters on apparently a monthly basis. So just tell me in 1 week how many dumpster rentals you do, okay? Matt, if you can do $50K a month in junk removal, then take a look at building the dumpster business. If you can do $50K a month in junk removal, then take a look at. Okay. Yeah, okay. I understand what you're saying, Matt. Yes, I understand what you're saying. Matt's saying that if you can make $50K a month in junk removal, then go ahead and try a dumpster business, okay? Go ahead and try one. I'm not questioning anybody. Listen, I love y'all guys. I'm here. I do free videos every day, every week. I'm putting out 2 or 3 videos a day so y'all can learn. So people that are just starting in junk removal now, I'm pretty sure Matt's a pretty smart guy. On-call dumpsters is a pretty guy. Don't need my advice. Y'all are watching it because you're wasting time. And you're like, hey, man, I just want to watch this guy. Sometimes I'm funny. Sometimes I'm not. Junk Zombies is a veteran in this business. Most of y'all are veterans, but some of y'all need my help. And some of y'all are making that decision to buy dumpsters or buy enclosed trailers for junk removal. Okay? The question was for on-call dumpster. We're killing it with dumpster rentals, he said. My question was to him, if you don't mind me asking, what is a number that you could give me that you made in 1 week dumpster rentals? Okay? That's all I'm asking, and I'll go from there on call. I appreciate people like on-call dumpster. I appreciate Matt, who's honest. He owns a dumpster company, but says, hey, junk removal is better, more profitable than dumpster rental. Listen, you can make a fortune in dumpster rental. You can. There is Marco Waste Removal is ran by a Mexican guy. His name is Marco, I forgot, Damascus or something like that. He's out of Dallas, Texas. He has over 300 12-yard dumpsters. He just got into the 20-yard dumpster. This dude makes a crap load of money. He's in the dumpster business. This is all he does is dumpsters. I see his dumpster. I saw a dumpster down the street from me. I saw the dumpster right down the street from me. But I wanted to let you know this. For every dumpster that he puts down, I do 2 junk removals, 2 or 3 junk removals. That dumpster that he has down the street is $295 with tax and all. It's $321. If I do 2 junk removals, I'm either going to walk out with $600 to $700, and that's just a fact. I'm not downing Marco. He just drops dumpsters and leaves. I spend more time doing junk removal because I like making more money. I like making more revenue. My expenses are not as high as him. My fuel charges are not as high as him. And the wear and tear on my vehicles are not as high as him. I'm only pulling a 1,500-pound aluminum enclosed trailer when he's pulling a big rig that probably weighs close to 7,500 pounds. Anthony Lopez says, you have a crap load of roll-off dumpsters to make money. You're going to be probably see as much profit having 5 to 10 dumpsters, in my opinion. Well, okay. You have to have a crap load of roll-off dumpsters to make money. You are not probably going to see a lot more. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from, Anthony Lopez. Anthony Lopez, who's actually a junk removal service, AL Junk Removal. I'm sorry, Anthony. I'm sorry, brother. Will you chime down there with the name of your businesses? I keep on forgetting. I got to remember everybody. Anthony Lopez says a great thing, and I think Matt would agree on this. He says you have to have a crap load of roll-off dumpsters to make money in it. Listen, regardless, with 5 or 10 dumpsters, you can make money. Are you going to make a crap load of money? Probably not. So Anthony Lopez is making a statement saying that if you have a lot of dumpsters, you're going to make money. But if with 5 and 10 dumpsters, you're just going to make money. That means you will make money, pay bills. But will you scale your business with I know for a fact that Marco Waste Removal has over 300 dumpsters, and that dude makes money. He makes way more than me. I'll tell you that much. Okay, I don't have that many trailers. Yeah, I'll tell you something. His fleet of dumpster roll-off trucks, he has about 15 trucks, and they're running every day. I've seen those trucks because I've gone to the landfill and they're pulling out, almost hitting me. He makes money. That guy makes money. He has bigger equipment than I do. He's in the roll-off business. He's been doing this for a long time. I understand, and that's great. I'm not his competition, and I wish the guy the best. I've met him. He's a nice guy. But he has a lot of dumpsters, so he makes a lot of money. He has 300 and something amount of 12-yard dumpsters, and then he has about 20 or 30 20-yard dumpsters, and that's all. He sticks to the small dumpsters. Anthony Lopez is with Lolo Hauling here, located in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, by the way. Matt says 30 dumpsters. I can do 30K a month gross, but I'm using about 240 in equipment. I totally understand. Hey, listen, guys, I want to let you know something. Matt, who is, he's chiming in right here. If you're watching the message board, he agrees. He has 30 dumpsters. He makes 30K a month gross. That is great money. Are you kidding me? That is great money. Okay? So I don't know how many dumpsters he's dropping away a week. That's his business, okay? But what I'm saying, and he said, but I'm using about $240,000 in equipment. He's using $240,000 in equipment. Matt even admits earlier that junk removal is a more profitable business. He runs a successful dumpster business, okay, guys? And he even knows it. He says to him, hey, I have 30 dumpsters. I make $30,000 a month gross. He's even using $240,000 in equipment. Matt, I use about $15,000 worth of equipment within all my trucks. Of course, I buy all my trucks at auction. Awesome. Anyway, guys, I hope you understand what I was trying to say, that when I started this business, I always wanted to be a dumpster owner. I really did. It was my thing. I wanted to have some kind of foothold in the dumpster industry, and including trucks. Matt, yes, including trucks. I have about $15,000 worth of equipment, including trucks. I always wanted to get in dumpster equipment. Into the dumpster business, and when I did do it, it wasn't rainbows and stars, I guess. I don't know what they say. It just wasn't what I thought it was. As I'm doing my dumpsters and I'm doing my junk removal, that's when I started noticing I was making more money in junk removal. I was at 30 to 40% more, and it really depended on the two biggest factors were time and fuel. Time and fuel was a big deal to me. I was being more efficient in junk removal than I was in dumpster. For me, okay, for me. If this works for Matt, if this works for on-call dumpsters, I wish them all the luck. The people, I know a lot of people that are successful in the dumpster business, okay? A lot of people. Dumpsters have always been around. Anthony Lopez's junk removal is more profitable. You just got to know how to get people to call you. That's true. Heave, haul it away, junk removal. Don't doubt regs, logs, except maybe later you build a strong customer relationship, being in the handling things. Maybe you should do something, have a truck or sell demo or something like that. God, that was long, dude. Get to call it hard part of my opinion. All right, guys, so if you can see the opinions right there, it's great opinions. People have a lot of things to say. I want to leave this video with saying in whatever business you want to do, junk removal or dumpster, they are both great businesses, but when you compare the both, I just think profitable revenue-wise, junk removal is a slight better, okay? Matt says one more thing. He says, my point is to do the junk removal and maximize that business. Dumpsters is a great business to do. For the average guy, junk removal is where it's at. You know what Matt wants? He wants nobody to start a dumpster company. No, I'm kidding, Matt. Anyway, guys, don't forget, listen, I want to mention this one more time before I leave. I appreciate all the people standing to watching my video today. I really, hard to tell. Thanks, Matt. And I appreciate the actual, you know, you're sitting here, you're a business owner, and he came on and he said, hey, about his business. I appreciate the numbers and everything, I really do. I want to tell you guys that on February the 10th, before I get off this thing really fast, on February the 10th is a Facebook Live free webinar. I want to teach people and let them know that there is a journey laying ahead of them in junk removal. For if you're an entrepreneur, small business owner, or already own a junk removal business, I want to let you know that I'm here to guide you down that path of profitability, if that's even a word, okay? I want to let you know that I'm here to help you. I want to give you tips and tricks for junk removal. This is why I've been put here to place this with all these videos. People have helped me out so much in the last 12 years that I've been in business. People like Anthony Lopez right there, been by my side, helped me do junk removals whenever I didn't want to hire nobody. I gave him a few bucks and he came out to help me out. People like him that have been in my life and have really contributed a lot to my business. Okay, guys? Also, again, February the 10th at 11 a.m. Okay, February the 10th at 11 a.m., a Facebook free webinar. If you want to be part of that webinar, go ahead and direct message me on Facebook or send me an email at junkguysdfw@gmail.com. And don't forget, send your Facebook link so I can add you to that private group, okay? Thank you, guys. I hope great content, man. Awesome. Thank you, man. Hey, how'd y'all like my diagrams, huh? Diagrams are pretty cool. So I made those about, I don't know, I feel like I made them like 10 years ago. You know, when I first designed those, I made them a long time ago, and it was for me to think, hey, am I doing this right? You know? And anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody staying tuned. Don't forget, if y'all like my videos, check out my videos. Tell people about my videos. Over there to the left side, subscribe. Somewhere down here or down over here. One of the two. I don't know where the subscribe button is. Don't forget to tell your friends and family about my videos. Check them out, guys, and subscribe. I will talk to y'all later. Thanks for staying tuned on a snowstorm of a day, man. So we don't know, just to let you know, Dallas-Fort Worth is shut down right now. There is snow all over the floor. There is sleet. It's hard to drive on. It is very difficult. And I just want to tell you that be careful out on the road. If you're from the Dallas-Fort Worth area or you're from any other place where it's snowing, it's dangerous out there today. Well, I'm not working today. I took a day off. I love it. I don't know what to do when I'm at home sometimes. I don't know what to do. I've been bothering my wife. You know what I mean? So have a great day and see you tomorrow. I'll probably post